This is what distinguishes human activity from animal activity. This is the meaning of sechel. This is why the Frierdiker Rebbe speaks about it a lot. The animal soul in the human being also has sechel. And because it has sechel, it is a good candidate to be elevated and to be refined. Not like you train a dog now, but like you are instructing that you're actually elevating. Getting it to relate to what you're saying. Okay, that answers your question?
Good. What to think into, yeah. Page 12.
Page 12, your Beis. Okay, it's about 10 lines from the top. The line begins with the word Sheba. What we have been discussing here, the way the Indian sphere is in Lamaila, and we interchangeably referring to sphere Lamaila and the muscle from the human on the human level. And the principle of our discussion now is specifically this: Ha-sechel is mislabesh in koichos that are below it. And I said this is in contrast to what we've said a moment ago, that everything has its particular keli, and the keli is suited for that particular oil. And then at the same time, we see that it seems to be not entirely true. Like sechel is mislabesh in koiches that are below it. And they're not a keli for it. And yet sechel is mislabesh in it. The keichat nur shebiyad, keichat hiluch sheberegel. We discussed this in the previous Maimer. If we use the koyach hatnua shebiyad to draw a picture, the koyach hatnua is capable of making lines, straight lines, any kind of lines that you are instructing it to make. But a picture is not within the proximity, the view of the koyach hatnua shebiyad. This remains sechel. The sechel is mislabesh in the keichat nur shebiyad. And the Koyach HaTnuah then becomes so closely interrelated and imbued with the sechel that it almost automatically responds to the view of the sechel. I watched occasionally, an artist drawing a picture. Painting is a completely different level. Drawing a picture. I'm watching him just make little movements. All of a sudden he takes his hand up and there's a whole living picture. It's almost like the hand did it on its own. The hand did not do it on its own. We all know that. But it was so closely interrelated to the sense in the sechel that directed it that there was no separation between them. As if the Koyach HaTnuah Shebiyad understood what you wanted to do. But it didn't really on its own. It is the Hislapshus HaSeichel in it. So there we see this new point that Seichel, that the higher Koyach can be Mislabish and lower Koyach. Not like we said before that the Hislapshus has to be commensurate to the Koyach itself, suited for it. But Koyach HaTnuah is not suited for Seichel. If you set up this room and set the chairs in a certain order, you feel satisfied that chairs are in order. Does the hand who moved the chairs also have that satisfaction? Or is that satisfaction at a different level? Right? And then finally we're saying, and this is true in all the koiches and all the midos, all the way down to Malchus. Malchus is in a category all by itself. Because the principle of Malchus is external expression. Malchus is referred to as the foot in the human structure. The foot, as we just finished saying, the foot, it does not participate in itself, in where it's going, in what it accomplishes. And yet there is sechel also in the foot. I'd like to alert to a phenomenon. You would think the foot is walking because it has a physical ability to walk. Not entirely true. The foot is inspired by the sechel that directs it where to walk. So it enables the foot to walk in a totally different way. Like I mentioned last time we learned that by Yankee Mavinu, when he woke up from the dream, and he had a very significant dream that Hashem is with him wherever he walks. So then it says in the posting, Vayiso Yaakov Raglov, Yaakov lifted his feet. How do you lift your feet? The feet were then inspired on a different level than his sechel. The feet were the ones who carried him from place to place, but his sechel carried his feet. Right. I thought I was going to establish a place where we were studying, and now I'm looking for it.
It's at the 10th, on the 10th line, Sheba.
All right. That's right. That with the feet, and this is the Malchus, in the general sense, this is what moves a person from place to place. This is an external activity. However, at the end of that parenthesis, in that element, there is also the Bechinas HaMechi, which means this Bechinas HaMechi is not there peripherally, externally giving direction, giving command, go there. But the Mechin are actually relate to the feet, like we just finished saying. It enables the feet to walk. It inspires the feet to walk. The Reichel are actually mislabish in the Malchus. Mislabish on something completely external to the Nefesh Odom. In the mashalim that we use to express this thing, we can understand how you sympathize with somebody. He's in stress, in a bad situation. You have an affinity with you. You feel with him, but he remains separate from you. So you're observing him, and you understand what he is going through, and you understand it, you sympathize. The sechel can understand what's going on. But then to go out and actually act upon it, this is outside of your nefesh. What connects you to this other person? At that level. This is what we're saying, that sechel is mislavesh even in Malchus, even at that level. That you can understand and sense a unity between you and the outside. Okay. שזה עניין חוכמה דמייסה בראשיס. That's the end of that line. שזה עניין חוכמה דמייסה בראשיס. This is the principle. You say that there is chokma in Maaseh Bereishis. Where do we see chokma in Maaseh Bereishis? Because the Pasuk says, we say it in Damning, Kulam b'chokma osisa, that all of these creations, b'chokma osisa, you made with chokma. As meant you made with chokma, you made with Malchus, you made with Midas and so forth. No. Shenimshach u'mislabed b'zo Malchus. The chokma is drawn, and it actually is mislabesh in the all the spheres, and Malchus ultimately. Again, as we pointed out several times in the last couple of days, this principle that Chochma is mislabish in the midas and ultimately in Malchus in the activity, for us to perceive it and recognize the Chochma presence, it is to recognize that all actions in the creation and all our human actions are preconceived. They're not reactive. And this is Osisa. Everything that was created has a definitive purpose that was assigned to it. That is the Chochma element in the whole creation. Shenimshach mislabish bezo Malchus, that the Chochma is drawn, and it is mislabish bezo Malchus. It is viewed in Zo. Zo means the six spheres, and ultimately in Malchus. The Sheishes Yomim also Havaya. The Pasuk says Sheishes Yom also Havaya. As Havaya made Sheishes Yom, 6 days. One of these 6 days, Shehein Shisha Midah Zah. These are the 6 midas of Zah, and they're all made according to the Chochmah. But derech plat, and there. But this is another step in the depth of what we're discussing. But derech prat, more specifically, when you're talking about the shisha midas in the creation, the 6 midas in the creation, we are talking about he midas shebe Malchus. We're talking about the 6 midas as they are contained in Malchus. Malchus is an elusive concept. Just like Chochmah, like we said in Chochmah many times, that when a person, when you look out on the panorama, at the glance, you see the entire panorama. Because you're seeing it from a Chochmah perspective, how everything is contained within the overall reality. You don't see each element, each thing individually. How it fits in, and it's part of the entire reality. This is in Vedas in Chochmah. This Ayin is reflected also in Malchus. This is the principle that a melech, says, Bariv Am Hadras Melech. The more people that gather, the more it identifies the glory of the king. Why does the king need millions of people? The bigger crowd is more reflective of the Malchus of the king. A real king means that he can encompass in his concept every variety. And the more there is, the more it expresses what he is. As we always point out, it should not be misunderstood the way it is perceived in the world. Yeah, of course the Melech wants to have more people. He has more people, he has more slaves. This is not what Malchus is about. He has more people, he has more ability to express his affection and his concern and his support of the people. And inspiring them. The more variety there is in his effort to inspire them, the more his spirit is recognized, is revealed. This is what we're saying here. Shisha midas is all. B'derech klal prat hem midas b'malchus. More specifically, this is midas within Malchus, not midas as they come from Chochmah, but midas as they come forth from, emanate from Malchus. In these midas, as they emanate from Malchus, there is the moichin element. This again is in Chochmah. All of these things that come through Osisa in action in Malchus is actually b'Chochmah. It actually expresses and reveals the Chochmah element. Okay, in the next few words, we'll put everything in perspective. Due to this effect, due to this phenomenon, that Malchus encompasses everything and provides for everything, thus Malchus is called Chochmah Tato, the lower level of Chochmah. There is the original Chochmah that originates everything. And then there's the Chochmah Tato, the Chochmah as it is recognized on a more practical level, the lower level. I'll give us a little bit of a handle on this. Okay, you enter your home, you enter a room, and you say, hey, this room needs to be furnished. And in that concept, you have a concept, it needs to be furnished the way a room needs to be furnished. Then you go and you start acquiring the furniture and start setting up the furniture. Setting up the furniture, this is on the other end of this whole concept. This is not, it needs to be furnished. How do you set it up? There is not a piece of furniture at that moment which is extraneous. Everything finds its place. This thing that everything finds its place is the Malchus element in this whole relation, in the whole view. Your whole perception of the room is now being translated on the room level rather than on your perception. That's what's called Chochmah Tator. Chochmah, as we already discussed, we learned many times. Chochmah is that quality that perceives things from a truth perspective, from a highest perspective. And then it comes into Malchus. It is also Chochmah, but it's Chochmah Tator. Now, you are, as I said, on the practical level, and you find an explanation and exactitude for everything. We're learning halacha in Rambam. Sometimes it boggles the mind to what detail the halacha entails. We're talking about right now about lekich, shikon, peya, what you have to leave for the aniyim when you harvest your field. There's one stalk of wheat here, and next to it another stalk of wheat. The first one is one that if you harvest the rest of the field, it will be included. It will come off together with the rest of the field. The other one will not come off with the field. One next to the other. Who does it belong to, the Oni or the Balabais? And these details are all derivatives of the Chochmah. But then it translates on a practical level and it says, hey, come on, what are you playing games for? No, he's not playing games. Each thing has a specific definition, place.
Saying that Malchus has this element more than all the other midos preceded it, or even Malchus has this? Or is it kind of...
Both. On the one hand, Malchus has it less, because the other midos actually have the spirit. Malchus does not have it. On the other hand, Malchus has it more, because it actually brings down all the details of the Torah. Okay, we'll stop here because the next starts a new principle. All right, so have a great day. You know about what time? Anybody know what time Yibin is tonight?
la la